Party mode. Hi, welcome back. What?
Hey! Party mode engaged.
Party mode engaged. The nerdiest dancing that you will see on YouTube. Ever. That's a challenge.
What was it? The bat dance?
Pretty close. Yeah. Right.
Something like that. Yes!
Hi!
Hi!
Help us, please.
I can't think of an example of actually visually seeing an EU character dance.
What was it called? That Han Solo dance.
Oh yes, Star Wars Connect.
That was the one. Yeah.
I was thinking of other than that. I was thinking of other than...
Everyone was thinking of other than that.
Because I'm solo. I'm riding solo.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking. But yes, we're back again already. Well, technically we're back for you, but we haven't actually gone anywhere really. To the fridge. Went to the fridge.
We're back for you.
We went to the fridge. Well, actually, I didn't get more goop juice.
No, you didn't drink it all in the last episode. You're not gooped up enough yet.
I'm not gooped at all. So what are we giving a crack at? Figures?
Figures, yeah.
Figures!
Because I talked about the figures, but I have not actually had the amount in my budget to be able to spend on them.
And I thought I'd bring mine over for a quick show and tell. So if you haven't had show and tell since you were 5 years old, you're in for a treat, because here,
show and tell.
Here's some things I brought from home. Actually, I guess we may as well start with the absolute corker first. So, hang back. I thought we'd actually start with the Carnor Jax figure, who
there's a funny thing I'm even noticing on the cover.
It's the armor.
The armor, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, also on the side as well. On the side. So we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but
yes.
So obviously Carnor Jax, and for now I'm going to call him Carnor Jax just for another minute.
Because that is how he's labelled.
That's how he's labelled. Voila. And I know this isn't really showing it the best. Does that autofocus? I don't know what's going on, but there we go.
That is autofocusing. Yeah, that's going alright.
It's doing pretty well. So it's mimicking the Crimson Empire cover art, or at least the cover art to the collection that I have, and I think issue number 1 had this cover art. Yeah. I'm not even really sure at the moment.
Good art.
The good art. And the one that's usually, thought of when you think of the comics. So, yeah, this was the first one that we've bought. I have bought all 4, but the other 2 are still coming, because apparently that's how shipping works in Australia. So, the first things that you would get is Carnor Jax, even though it depicts Kia Canos on the cover.
Kia Kerr.
And then on the inside, again, there's some beautiful art. Again, it's actually
very dark.
Very dark, but again, it's depicting.
If it comes along this way, you might be able to see it better.
Who knows? Again, the artwork is depicting Kia Canos.
There's pictures on the internet.
And it's also depicting him from, I think, the 3rd arc of Crimson Empire. So, Carnor Jax is dead during that artwork. Spoiler alert. And of course, the figure itself.
If you haven't read Crimson Empire, you should by now.
I'll get onto it if you haven't by now. Get onto it. And then obviously there's the figure itself in all of its pristine glory. That again is Kia Canos, not Carnor Jax. So they've definitely stuffed up there, and I'm surprised that they didn't reprint the packaging before it went out.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't, because it's like everyone caught it as soon as they announced it.
Well, I don't know how they didn't catch it, because you've got the person who designs the figure, someone who designs the box, I guess, someone who's got to okay the toy itself. I mean, I'm sure it went through a few hands at Hasbro.
QCing, yeah.
And no one picked up on this?
You start to question how much they actually know.
It's almost like they pushed through a magnificent Obi-Wan figure, and they're like, you know what, this figure is great, it's really detailed, the packaging is beautiful, which, by the way, the packaging is probably the best packaging I've seen for a Black Series figure. It's very nice.
It is really
so on and so
nice.
forth, and like just telling someone, yeah, you've made a tremendous Obi-Wan figure, the packaging looks great, high points of articulation, great detail, except it's Qui-Gon Jinn. And you go, ooh. It's like, how did you do that? How did you pick?
Or it's Obi 2.
It's Obi 2. It's it's his uncle. Was it his uncle or something?
His brother's in the Air Force.
That was his brother. Yeah. Obi too. So yeah, you've accidentally put his brother. So I don't know how that happened, to be perfectly honest. It does make for one of the weirdest things in my collection, I guess, having a completely misnamed. Not the first misnamed in the Black Series either. They also had that Luke Skywalker, which I think was a Luke Sky. It had a double up.
Yeah,
of something.
that was weird.
Yeah,
and they spelled it differently in both parts, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's like it's Skywalker. Please, if you're gonna,
you should know this by now.
If you're gonna be doing Star Wars merch, perhaps get Skywalker right. I don't know if they'll be re-releasing this with the correct name. I'm gonna guess not.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess not, since they went ahead and released it with the wrong name.
Yeah, and then the other thing, of course, is that the timeline on the back makes absolutely no cohesive sense whatsoever. Most of the things are allocated to the wrong dates. I won't go through it, but again, you can find pictures online, and just what's happening there.
What is it? I'll put one up.
Yeah, so we'll whack one up, but like the EU's just to the wrong dates.
I mean,
Empire Strikes Back's on 1981. I guess that's the first. We're just like, well, you've put Empire a year ahead, so whoops.
They're not specific.
It's just kind of whimsically flopped around, isn't it?
1971, they just have a little logo saying Lucasfilm Limited. What's that supposed to mean?
Surprise!
And then they have a New Hope and no date on it.
Yeah, like...
but I think the main thing here is it says that Star Wars Legends...
Well, actually, interestingly
enough... 1991 to 2021.
You know, it's actually only just occurred to me, and it's rather embarrassing that it only just occurred to me, but they are doing 50 years of Lucasfilm.
Yeah,
not 50 years of Star Wars.
True.
So that'll be why. So it's actually 71 as the beginning of Lucasfilm.
I haven't actually seen if they're doing figures for anything else that they've done. In commemoration of this.
It's interesting though, isn't it? Now that I realise, I'm like, they're actually celebrating 50 years of Lucasfilm. So at the very least, you'd suspect some Indiana Jones merch to make itself known.
You would think so.
They've obviously got a lot of other, smaller projects or projects that aren't as well known these days, but Indiana Jones is a massive one, so if you're going to be celebrating Lucasfilm, what happened? Anyway, but the timeline doesn't make a lot of sense. It's very much
because it says it starts at 1991, which is when Heir to the Empire, and that came out, which can be construed as one time when you can say, oh, they started to take continuity seriously with that.
Yep.
But at the same time, Splinter of the Mind's Eye, Marvel Comics.
Ooh.
Came a little earlier.
And I do love the Marvel comics, so...
Especially when Vader goes to destroy their credit rating.
There's nothing better. Yeah. Nothing better than taking down that pesky rebellion by destroying their credit rating with the bank. So, what an evil deed. What an evil deed. And of course, we haven't even got to the figure itself yet.
No.
Because that's an absolute cracker.
We've just been looking at the box.
Which is already putrid enough.
And it's a nice box.
It is beautiful. Box.
I think also with the misnaming though, I saw the... What's his face that wrote it?
That fella. The guy with the face. He's got a face. And probably fingers as well.
The guy with the face
the guy
and
with the face.
The Facebook account, the comments on it.
Has a Facebook account. Because that's unusual in 2021.
You never know.
You never know. There are people. Anyway, while that's been looked up, we can have some more thinking music. The figure itself is...
Dave Dorman.
Good old Dave Dorman.
Dave Dorman commented, I saw on Facebook, and said that he's really disappointed that they misnamed it. Because he especially made sure when he was doing the art that they were visually distinct.
Yeah. And may I say, Dave, if in fact I can call you Dave, Dave, we're disappointed too. We are all quite disappointed. For a start, and I know I'm just being greedy now, but for a start, couldn't we have had them both?
Like a comic pack.
Like the comic, which I should have bought my comic pack figures today, but anyway. No. But like the comic packs, so any small child who pays $50 for one of these, $50 Australian for one of these, can play with both of them together, yay. And also, just for a lot of fun, if you were going to bring out the other figure, you could misname that one as well, just for the lols. So you could have two misnamed figures for the price of two.
Carnor Jax is Kokanos and Kokanos is Carnor Jax.
Yeah, why not? At this point, why not? Actually, what would be really clever? If they brought out, the second figure with the wrong packaging as well, you could actually open these boxes, slip the figure out, put the figures into the other box, and you'd be somewhere towards... I mean, it would still say Carnor Jax and have pictures of Kia Kanos. So but at least the name and the figure...
And the front cover art.
And the front cover art, which is perfectly fine, would actually line up. Hasbro, I've solved your problem. Give me a call. Jump on the buzzer. I've fixed...
But
your issue.
that makes too much sense.
Way too much sense. So the figure itself as well... The armor is completely off, and it took us a little while to work out why. I don't think that shows up here, but as you can probably see, he has a, I don't know, what do we want to call that? I'm going to call that, there we go, that's better for everyone. Maybe.
Yay, that you can see well enough.
A metallic loincloth, I think, some kind of lobster scaling going down his torso, and so on and so forth. I mean... I do apologise for how bad the quality is when I just hold things up to the camera. But again, Google it. You guys will be fine.
Yeah, there's pictures online. But you can see from the front cover page...
Where there is no metallic loincloth, and even on the side, that the armour inside is distinctly different. And it took us both a little while to work out why. And I eventually found out... Yeah.
Because we do not follow new canon.
Because we don't follow new canon. Because we don't follow new canon at all, and yeah, so there was a Disney canon. I mean, I guess it fits both because it was labelled Return of the Jedi, but there was a Return of the Jedi Black Series guard released a couple of years ago, I think. I don't even know what year it was anymore. And underneath the fabric robe, they gave him just some armor that they'd made up, clearly. And what they've done with this release, again, for the umpteenth time, and we'll get onto this later, is cut some severe corners. Where rather than actually designing the armor, rather than actually designing the figure from the comics, they've just kit bashed from existing things. So they've actually just used that guard from a couple of years ago. They've taken the robe off, popped a cape on, and called it a day.
Yeah. And as I'm me, since it was released after the decanonization of the EU, or if we would call it the stopping of the continuation.
Yeah, I mean, because that is a mouthful, but it's there.
They're still sort of wording it in the way that they're both equally valid, technically.
Well, they're not.
But
one
they're not
stopped.
One stopped.
Well, okay, and that one hasn't really stopped because we've got the Old Republic and blah, 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 but you know.
We got a new short story for the Old Republic, so that's nice.
I blurdy blurred my last blurdy blur. Yeah,
blurby 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 blur.
Blurby blur, curl over and die. Good night. Thank you for listening. Yeah, no, we had Old Republic, the new story, 108, which was a continuity guffaw.
It's still not much. And it's not a proper continuation.
Well, it's not Heart of the Jedi.
It'll be a discussion when we get to talking about Heart of the Jedi
because that'll be coming up, won't it?
With the sales.
Yes, sales you have.
We're waiting till the story plays out a bit more.
Yeah, because some more things have even happened today with that. So it is an ongoing story. So we will get on to Heart of the Jedi. Or at least Cal will. I don't know if I'll personally be here, but we'll see.
You can always put your 2 bob in.
I can. If next time there's nothing but 2 bob in this seat, you'll know what's happened. But yeah.
I bob, you bob.
Bob. We are bob.
2 bob.
2 bob. Are you thinking what I'm thinking, Bob 1?
I'm thinking what you're thinking, Bob 2.
Yay, it's next figure time. So, there's a couple of, as I said, there have been 2 that have come out. So for the second part of show and tell, the other figure, excuse me, 1 moment, is Darth Maul. Everyone's favourite Darth Maul. So for show and tell, I also brought in my copy of the trade paperback. I didn't bring in the single issues.
Oh, look, the same cover. Yeah.
The same cover. Isn't that fun?
Ooh.
I didn't bring in the single issues because there's no need to go crazy. But again, so what I really love, first of all, about this is the cover art. The fact that the cover art is the cover art. Like that's, you know.
Gotta love it.
It doesn't take a lot of creativity, but it's absolutely perfect. So that's kind of what we want, you know.
And since they do that, we can be like, can we have one without text, please?
Yeah, please, may we have. But no, look, it's again, brilliant packaging. The exact same box, obviously.
Yeah,
but
they're keeping them in the same style.
Yeah, and you know, there's some nice art on the side, which of course you cannot see, but it's there. Oh, it's a blue Darth Maul.
Oh, because of reflection.
Reflexion.
And the back is the same, isn't it?
The back is exactly the same. The wonky timeline that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. And then on the inside again, we've got some art from the what was it, 2001? No, I don't know.
3, I think.
Anyway, there it is.
Anyway,
yeah.
muscles.
I was like 14 years old at the time, 15 years old, so whatever that makes me. Makes me very old, is what it makes me. But yeah, so the inside art is one of the better panels from that comic. The front is good.
Yeah.
And that, of course,
and
brings
it's correctly named.
It is. It actually does say Darth Maul,
Yeah.
which at this point I will take as an absolute bonus. So they get bonus points. 10 points to Hasbro. They've actually named the character correctly.
They didn't call him Savage Press or something.
Oh, they were so close. Just before printing, someone was like, "Isn't that Darth Maul?" So it got close.
Yeah.
It got real close. Now, just to go through an unboxing here, because there's no real way to show you, I think, my biggest problem with the thing. Ooh, the scissors. Oh, no, we're good. So, the biggest guffaw, I think, with this figure that is being unboxed before your eyes, my $50 investment is now ruined.
And it's just a bit of sticky tape.
It's, well, you can't tell the public. There we go. We have some sticky tape. Now, for a start,
Then it'll be good as new.
it will be good as new. I'm going to start with the lightsaber, I think, actually, because what I like about the lightsaber is this one
Bring it up nice and close.
has a bit of flexibility to it. Not much, but enough that, you know, gameplay wouldn't kill it, necessarily. Do the blades come out? I feel like they do. They do. So the blades even come out, and there is a little belt hinge on their little nub. Ooh. Little tiny nub.
Yub Nub Commander.
Yub Nub Commander. So you can hang it off his belt. So that's nice, and I'll probably do that in a moment. Anyway, I'll pop the blade back in now.
Puts on his belt with blades activated. Ow!
my knees! Wait, I don't have knees anymore. Yeah, so Darth Maul himself. There is something rather unusual about this figure which struck me immediately as I opened the case. I apologise for the upcoming noise. That would have sounded so bad. Anyway.
I'll make sure everyone can hear it.
He would have cranked that up to 11. So here's Darth Maul in all his glory. Now, the first thing that might even appear to some viewers at home is that Darth Maul's hands are unusually red. Just red. And it even showed up to me in the packaging. As soon as I opened it, I thought, what's happened here? Because for show and tell, he doesn't stand at the moment. I'll fix that.
Does he? Oh, is he bad at standing up?
Well, he can't be, because these are legs that we've seen before. These are the exact same legs that we used for the Darth Maul figure a few years ago, and they're even the exact same legs, boots, and everything that we used as the Darth Nihilus figure. Because again, the Black Series absolutely love kit-bashing figures recently to cut costs, I guess.
So
I don't know.
compare, let's put them side by side.
Oh, look, they're both black. They can't tell. I apologise to everyone at home.
Let me fix that.
That was horrendous. That was the worst thing that anyone said. It's still black. We're comparing black boots, Cal. It's not. It looks.
Look exactly the same.
I mean, it would look the same as my black boots at the moment. It's fuzzy. It's anyway. Look. Take our
Put
word
the
for it.
focus back on.
They're the
I need
same
to fix
boots.
that brightness. I need to fix that.
Excellent. Oh, hey, if that looks better, we're just gonna leave it there. I actually have my natural skin tone for once.
No good. You need to look like an Oompa Loompa.
We must go back to being orange. Yeah, so these legs have been reused over and over. At least this time they're being reused to make another Maul. So that's good. But yeah, the hands. Now, what I was going to say is I brought as well for show and tell a couple of older figures. So this is a 1991 Power of the Jedi Darth Maul. And I think, as you can probably see, if we get some zoomage happening, you guys have got no idea how awkward this is to try and hold. Anyway, look, there he is. He's got some hand tattoos going on. He's got the black going all the way down across the back of his hands and his fingers, which is shown in the comics over and over. And as much as I did bring my comic issue at the moment, we're just not gonna.
I mean, it's even just on the front packaging.
Yeah, it's on the front packaging because he's holding his lightsaber with his hand down, and you can see these two lines on his hand. Which, again, if I was now to produce... everything about this is dark. Why don't we do colours that are like fluoro? Where are all the fluoro characters?
It's because I don't know.
Heavens.
Maybe it's Jackson.
Yeah, when we do Jackson, you guys will be fine. Anyway, so this is a 2009 triple pack Darth Maul, and it's the same idea. He's got these hand tattoos as well. Like the tattoos go all the way down to his hands, and so both of these figures have more detail than the Black Series Darth Maul that just got released as well.
That is bigger and will be easier to put the detail on.
Like, honest to goodness. And also the lightsabers have all the black lines going down the sides and everything else. These lightsabers have more of a paint job as well than the current 6-inch Black Series. So I don't know.
Do they have nub?
They do not have nub, and they do not have retractable blades, or at least detachable blades. So I guess the Black Series are winning there.
I guess there's a perk in one area.
But it just, I don't know, it strikes me over and over that the Black Series don't seem to be doing a great job with EU figures at the moment.
I think one of their selling points was that it's a new head mold.
Well, fair enough. I mean, yeah. Good.
It's Darth Maul.
It's Darth Maul's head.
Yes.
I mean, you probably could have used the same head and we wouldn't have cared as much as the fact he's got these almost comical large red hands. And is there a... there's
his tattoos are wearing off.
He's washed his hands way too much. This is COVID Darth Maul. What's happened is he's been using way too much sanitizer on his hands for the last 12 months and the tattoos have gone. So, oopsies. But yeah, it honestly, it's a good figure. It feels good. It's got great weight to it. And it's certainly mostly posable.
How does he bend?
Stiffly.
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 That's no good. He hasn't warmed up with his exercises yet.
He hasn't, but there he is. He's all right. He's pretty okay. He's doing a little motorbike thing now.
Yeah.
He's on Bloodfin. That's what that is. That's Bloodfin action right there. Yeah, the fact that he's missing the hand tattoos just stood out to me straight away as something unusual, and I'm not quite sure I'll be able to get over that. There's also something very weird happening with his arm sockets, I've just noticed. I don't know what on earth you think that is, but there's like a double socket in his arms for some reason.
So
I don't know what's going on.
Let's try and see if you can see that.
Yeah, we're gonna... We need to film these bits later. Look at that. Look,
No, I cannot be bothered. I cannot be bothered.
Well, I can be bothered.
Well, you can film it then.
I'm making my own YouTube channel. I've got a Patreon. Send money.
There's like a double socket there. Like,
yeah, very odd.
All the muscles and six-pack and everything you see in front, that's just a bodysuit.
Yeah, he's actually wearing a bodysuit. He's just kind of flapped it over the top. Yeah, look, again, I'm not necessarily going to mind that too much. That's okay. This is the first time I've seen him out of his packet, actually, and so far everything else in terms of posability is great. It's the same knee joints and leg joints that we've seen on every Darth Maul release ever.
I like how you lift up and like, does he have the right bits?
Oh my. Mr. Maul. So look, it's actually a relatively good figure all round. I don't know about the whole new head sculpt thing, but it is a good head sculpt. And I guess for one last awkward zoom in, it is good. Hello. Oh dear. It's not really too focused, is it? But it is. It's actually a good head mold.
We can adjust it so that it looks right. Bring it back.
Bring it back.
That's better, I think.
Yeah, it's not too shabby, and you can even see the arm things I was talking about earlier as well. How there's like a secondary socket going around his arms there, and then I guess in finality those red hands. And am I being nitpicky?
He's been caught red-handed. He's been caught.
Am I being too nitpicky? Yes, absolutely. But although this is Black Series, I mean, these are figures we're paying a lot for.
It is $50 Australian.
You know, I mean, these things here, back in 91 and 1999 a piece, I think this guy cost me about $12. It could have been... No, it would have been 12 because he was a deluxe figure. He came with a training droid. And then these ones, since that was a 3-pack with Bane and Nihilus, would have been 40 maybe or something. Either way... These figures are significantly cheaper than this Black Series Maul.
What's weird to me is it's like $50 Australian, but it's only about 22 US dollars.
Yeah, what are you Americans doing? Can you guys like not charge us so much for stuff? We need it over here. You joking? Where's my $22 Darth Maul figure? Absolutely unreal.
At most, when you exchange it would be $30.
No, 50 apparently. So there we go. But yeah, when something is marked as a premium figure, it's Black Series, and also it's so much larger. So again, that detail can be put in there. These kit bashes are getting really unusual because Jaina was good, Revan was good. Jedi Revan was a repaint. That armor's completely wrong for Jedi Revan in the EU or in that Discanon. What's that Discanon game? Galaxy of Heroes or something?
Oh yeah, I think so.
There's a mobile game where Revan appears as Jedi Revan with the white and everything else. And again, that armor is not the armor on the figure.
I like how its acronym is just GO.
Yeah, just go. Just give up. Yeah, so you know that particular Revan was just a repaint of the pre-existing Revan. Then we had the gaming greats where for Force Unleashed, rather than give us a 6-inch Starkiller or something, you know, cool, rather than put some effort in, they just repaint a Stormtrooper.
I think they did the Shadow Stormtrooper as well, but I didn't get a hold of that.
You know,
and that's a repaint of a Stormtrooper as well, basically.
So we just keep repainting Stormtroopers and calling it a day.
Got the little pop vinyl here, window.
Pop
they were actually better with pop vinyls because they made him sort of translucent, semi-transparent.
Well, I haven't had a good look, and it's probably something you can look at quickly now while we have music playing. But there's a Jedi Revan pop vinyl coming out, and I actually think that Jedi Revan pop vinyl, from what I saw, had the correct armor, which would be embarrassing if Pop actually do a better job at the armor detail in the Hasbro Black Series. But these are the things that happen. Here is the thinking music. I don't actually know what music he's going to use for this bit. Yeah, it's just, I think it does factor... Yeah, so we've just quickly brought up the Pop Vinyl figure, and that actually does have the right armor.
I require us to swap over because I will show them the photo here because I can't be bothered editing that one.
That's fair enough. Yeah, so for some bizarre reason, Pop have gone ahead and made a Jedi Revan, and they've actually utilized the armor design from Knights of the Old Republic, because you could get the armor in the original game, and the Galaxy of Heroes. They've actually used the correct armor, and Hasbro couldn't, which is really embarrassing. And then moving on as well, obviously Nihilus was basically Darth Maul parts with a Nihilus head, and so on. And then up until now, where, you know, Jackson is at least completely original, but I don't think they could really help that.
Yeah,
Jackson's completely original.
But at the same time, they based their outfit off of the new canon version.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That does irk me, but that's, you know, by the by. In terms of actual design, if they were trying to make a figure of the Discanon design, I guess they've done well. He looks a bit odd in the face, but
he looks... I mean, they tried to go for a realistic look, which is like, yeah, okay, I guess.
But when you doesn't look
like either iteration in the comics.
Yeah, when you suddenly realise that a life like Jackson is incredibly terrifying. Like, I don't want to see this.
It's like a horror movie where the giant rabbit is stalking you.
It's pretty chronic. So, yeah, so they've done a pretty good job with Jackson in terms of capturing his Disney canon look. The Luke seems fine. I don't think there's any problems with the Luke. That's
I mean, they sort of colour changed his Dagobah outfit, didn't they? And that's about it.
but you know, and yeah, it looks all right. The Darth Maul figure was pretty much good until the hands, and I mean, I could probably just go home and grab a Sharpie and just put the lines on, and then suddenly I have a wonderful figure. I could do that, and then I don't know what I'm supposed to do with Carnor Jax, who isn't Carnor Jax. I can only assume...
You could get black tape, put it over each of the names on the box and write Kirk Annals.
I could, and then I'd have to do something about the armour inside. So we're still, you know...
You get your little grinder or something and grind off the crotch plate.
Grind off the crotch plate? I don't know what's going on in here, but I don't recommend you try it at home. But yeah, the fact that this 2001 figure... which is significantly smaller than this 2021, gooped up, I'm disgraced. You know, the fact that there's so many years between these two figures, and this one's smaller, and it has more detail going on.
With technology not as advanced as now.
Nowhere near as advanced. I mean, that head sculpt too is pretty bloody good. I know you guys at home can't see it, but if you've got one on the shelves, go have a look.
Try and put it up to the camera.
we're going to try and compare Darth Maul heads now. I hope everyone's ready for a really bad zoomy video. So, Maul number 1 und sie little Maul, hello. But, I mean, in all honesty, and you can see...
Oh no, they've been cloned.
Oh no. Hello. Oh, this is going to be the worst thumbnail in the history of thumbnails.
Oh, now I'm using that for the thumbnail. No, I'm using that for the thumbnail.
Just a whole bunch of Darth Mauls. Hello. But yeah, I mean, what, 2001? Like, that's a 20-year-old figure, and it's got better detail than a modern figure that's double its size. It doesn't really make an awful lot of sense. I am going to crack the blades out now, though, just to quickly see if the belt clip actually works. Because that
and then where do you put the blades?
You don't want to know where he puts the blades.
He just eats them like a sword swallower.
Oh, actually, I'm not entirely sure this does click in. I think that's too small, is it? Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a tight fit, but it does go. It does. It's in. It's here. Darth Maul has his lightsaber hilt.
It's not straight against his side.
You can't have everything.
Well, that's another detail thing. Like the lightsaber sits on your hip.
No,
he's forward.
He's a slight. He's having a good day, and his lightsaber's just kind of sitting. Yeah, it doesn't sit in his hip. Oh wait, no, I can.
Oh,
it just means that the hilt gets bent.
So if he's trying to do it any platforming, it'll get in the way.
Definitely. Although that'd get in the way anyhow. I mean, did he really think this through? I don't think he did. I mean,
I almost feel like his actual lightsaber was a little bit smaller on the hilt.
You know,
so that didn't get in the way.
There is a figure. It's another older one. And it's Darth Maul as an apprentice, and he's wearing like his brown cloak that was a concept art. So it's a concept art figure, and he's got this tall collar with these spikes coming out. And a few people at home know which figure I mean. Anyway, it came with a little booklet which incorrectly stated that Darth Maul's lightsaber detaches in the middle and can be utilized as 2 separate lightsaber blades. Which, while that was incorrect, to me, would have been a better idea to have 2 lightsabers so you can have 2 properly length.
And we've seen it in other EU stuff, like with Kamari Vosa and Asajj Ventress and stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, it would have actually made a lot more sense. But anyway, I guess that's water under the bridge now. But
he sort of created it himself, so he probably didn't know how to.
Well, he created it himself because he wanted to try and defeat that Jedi Master, whose name eludes me at the moment. But
yeah,
that's a Star Wars Tales comic called Nameless, for anyone who wants to look that up. The creation of Darth Maul.
I think it's also referenced in other Darth Maul novels.
Yep, this is probably very true. So, yeah, as I was saying, that original... Oh, my goodness. Trying to get the lightsaber in his hand just then was a pain in the... in that bit. It was a pain in the backside.
It's a pain in the Maul. It's a pain in the Maul.
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a stiff figure, but he's you could probably get some pretty good poses going on with him, to be perfectly honest. So, overall, I'm not too upset about it. The hand tattoos will probably annoy me for the rest of my life, but I'm that kind of a petty person. And again, when you're paying so much for a premium figure, you do expect a bit more eye for detail than giving a character the wrong name or not including all their tattoos. So, But yeah,
do you think we've said enough about that?
I think we have. I definitely think we have. But if anyone has that that Darth Maul figure at home, the one which, I mean, I've got them at home, the apprentice one, brown robe, spiky collar. If you've still got the booklet, have a look, because I think that's the only source in the entire EU that says Darth Maul's double-bladed lightsaber can be detached and used as 2 separate ones. So, yeah.
Wasn't there a picture on the article that when they announced this?
Yeah, actually there was.
Of it being in 2 separate parts?
You know what? Now that you say that, yes. And I am going to see if that still is the case. Because we might have discovered another feature. Can be cracked apart and spun as 2 separate lightsabers. So,
is it accurate? No. But it's a cool feature.
Well, I'd probably say, if nothing else, maybe this is part of the lightsaber design so you can, emulate the final battle at Theed with Obi-Wan. Final for most of us, where he only has half his lightsaber cracking at the time. So that's probably why it has this feature. I'm not 100% sure.
Or they just went, oh yeah, double-bladed lightsabers can split in half.
Well, I mean, unless that booklet that came with the Apprentice figure has stayed in the Hasbro archives all these years, and then when they dug it out again, they were just like, oh, we better make sure that's a thing. Who knows? Yeah. Who honestly knows? I mean, at the same time, I wish that archivist would have looked up the name of Kia Kanos, but that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, I would rather think that they watched TCW and went, oh, double-bladed lightsabers can split in half.
Of course they can. I mean, the character splits in half, so why can't his lightsaber split in half?
Split the lightsaber in half horizontally.
What an appalling way to have that lightsaber. But yeah, no, I mean,
it's cool.
I don't know. I would say they're definitely worth getting. It is interesting now that I know that their 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm figures. Will we be seeing other Lucasfilm merch come out this year? Yeah, that does, I don't know, but it would be kind of cool if we were. I'd buy a 6-inch Indiana Jones any day. They're definitely worth it. Maybe I'm just telling myself that so I don't feel bad for blowing $50 on each figure. But, yeah, I'd look, you know, the Darth Maul in particular, it does seem like a good figure, fully posable.
So bright when I bring up
so bright. Look, this is what we look like in real life when he turns that.
I'm so white.
So white. We're the whitest people you know. Yeah, overall, I'd still say they're pretty good figures. I think Luke's going to be the better one out of the 4. I think that Luke Skywalker figure is going to be the winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Mainly because he doesn't have hand tattoos that we need to deal with. I mean, the other thing, of course, that they could have done, excuse me, COVID, was not give him hand tattoos at all, but rather give him the gloves. Because for most of that comic, the hand... He's only not wearing gloves for the first bit, and for the rest of the comic, he's wearing his gloves. So you would think that they could have just done it that way, but you know.
Lucasfilm.com on 50th anniversary does only have Star Wars stuff.
No, fair enough.
What are these?
We have more figures. Callum's found more figures. You can't see them.
I'll bring them up.
There we go. We're going to bring them up. We're bringing them up, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, wacky do.
Hang on.
Here we go. We're hanging on.
Shift us over so that we actually make
shifting.
sense, so we don't see ourselves.
Ooh, I want to see ourselves.
Right.
I don't know what's going on with
Pulse,
that Darth Maul.
Which I think was part of the fan choice poll, are also doing a B1 battle droid from the look of it.
So that looks an awful lot like the B1 Commander battle droid that we got back in '99. Yeah, it does. It really does.
And Mace Windu.
Never seen Mace Windu on that card back because that was a Phantom Menace card back. So, yeah, we got him without the cloak, not with the cloak on that one. But anyway, that's still cool.
Qui-Gon.
Don't know about the face sculpt. The head sculpt doesn't look too good from where I'm sitting, but because I've already done a 6-inch Qui-Gon a couple of years ago and it looked really good. And no, it's actually not as bad once we zoom in, I guess. That might be another one I end up getting, to be perfectly honest, because I didn't get the 6-inch Qui-Gon the first time around. And
I'm realising that I really didn't have this in the right position. But amateurs. It's better for you to see.
Amateurs.
Because we're not blocking it, so that works out. Jar Jar!
Hey!
Oh, I almost thought that was a lightsaber for a minute. I thought, did they do Sith or Jar Jar?
That pike. That's the pike design from the other. There was a Gungan Warrior. A 99 Gungan Warrior figure that I've got has that pike. Jar Jar came with the big silver one with a flangey end. But anyway, that's alright, I guess.
I guess they must have just mixed and matched a little bit.
Yeah, make something a bit different. So that's fair enough.
The vintage collection.
Yeah, fun.
Not to be confused with the section on Disney Plus now.
No.
Which, I don't think I mentioned it in my video on that, but why would they name it the same thing as a figure collection? Anyway.
Honestly. Maybe they don't know the figures exist.
Who knows?
At this point, who knows?
There's an ATST driver.
Well, that's a pretty good figure. I'd rate
Paplu!
Woo! I mean, if only
with a forked stick.
I just wish we had more in the 6-inch line, which would kind of make it worth it. But you know.
Oh, look at Princess Leia. Oh, damn, she looks buff there.
She's standing over a grate. The wind's just gone from blowing the cloak right up. Marilyn Monroe style. That's what's happened there.
Alright, never mind about that.
Never mind.
There's a... Oh, that's a newer Darth Maul. And that's never mind, isn't it?
No.
Greedo!
What's with the costume?
I don't know. Why is he so green?
What? Maybe it's Greendo. Is it Greendo, his brother? It does say Greendo. Oh, there is no character called Greendo, by the way.
Maybe they mislabeled him and it is Greendo.
Maybe.
Or this is
I'm just trying to remember if the 77 figure had the wrong coloured... I don't think there was a 77 figure. You might want to look up Jedi Business, I think, after this to see why on earth they've made Greedo so green. And he's wearing Crocs. He's wearing Crocs, Cal. Greedo's wearing Crocs.
Why is Greedo wearing Crocs? Did he hunt some Trandoshans?
What's going on? At least he's smiling. He's got a good looking smile going on there.
Yeah.
10 out of 10 rate Greedo smile.
I'm looking now on Jedi Business
Just cause why is it green? What's going on? Oh, okay.
There was a green one.
That'll be why. This
was 1978.
Okay, so it was a year after. Yeah, okay. That'll be why
it
they've
actually
done it
has
then.
more articulate. I just wanted to show you.
And also, he's got some gumboots, so he's downgraded from gumboots back to Crocs.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there.
It's just... Why would you choose to recreate this one?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's because it's a 50-year thing and they're trying to go for the vintage. So that is why I figured that might be the case. That's what they were chasing in terms of the colour scheme. Doesn't make it that much better, but pretty cool Jawa. I would rate that.
Why does the Jawa double cloaked?
Probably also to emulate the 77 figures. So you could get the vinyl cloaks or the fabric ones. The vinyl ones are super expensive to try and get. I don't know how pricey the fabric ones are, but yeah, I guess that's what that's trying to do. Speaking of the vinyl cloaks, so Obi-Wan with the vinyl cloak.
That looks majestic. It's majestic.
So that's definitely the colour scheme and the vinyl cloak of the original figure that they're trying to emulate there. So I can see that.
I almost want Obi-Wan in a leather suit from the Marvel Comics figure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, fair enough.
Thinking of vinyl.
Yeah, that could be a good little figure to do. Yep.
And
then... cool. Is there anything to look forward to down there? Probably not.
There's no. Oh, wait, what? Costco Reeves? Did they try and get Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, is that Keanu Reeves? Okay.
Yeah, okay. Oh, they're doing a Lando one. That's probably about it.
Yeah, I might get the Lando one. We'll see. We shall see. Yes. I don't know. I think end of the day, I keep expecting more from the Black Series as a premium collection, and it just doesn't deliver.
Yeah.
Hasn't delivered in years. Jaina was the last fantastic Black Series EU figure.
Yeah.
Revan was the last pretty good
and
EU figure.
And it just so happens that both of those were fan choice poll results.
And ever since then, we've had at best kit bashes and repaints, so I don't know what's happened to the Black Series EU line. Oh well. Can't have everything. What we can have, though, is a table full of figures now, so we could always just...
Yeah.
We're going to go play on the carpet like
Think
children.
we have enough figures?
I know I do. I know I have too many, and I need more storage at home for them. So if anyone has a glass display cabinet that they're selling for cheap, I'll buy it, because I have figures all over the place, and they're getting a bit much.
Yeah. Cool. Fun times.
Fun times. That's what my Patreon's for. Donate to my Patreon. I'm buying a glass display case.
And then you'll start a YouTube channel where you're doing battle scenarios where you use the figures as minis.
And I'll also do figure reviews where I'll actually film the figures separate to the review so I can get proper close-up shots of them.
I mean, I did that before, but at the moment, we'll see.
Just too much editing.
I mean, I've got to the point where... What's the difference? I get my points across anyway, in our opinion.
That's true. It probably takes a long time to do so.
It's good when you have time, but I don't have time, so...
I had time once, and then I became an adult, and I've never had time since.
Yeah. I mean, I could make time, but then there goes assessments.
Who needs assessments? No, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. Okay, so he's going to scrap the assessments, and we're doing more figure reviews.
there goes my whole life.
Who needs a life? Who needs a life?
When you've got figures. Right. That'll probably do it for now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget you to subscribe for more expanded universe opinions and content and stuffs.
Hooroo.
And that is not in focus.
That's definitely not in focus. Whoop, there he is. There he goes. Old mate Maul. It's a good head sculpt.
Bye.
Bye.
My phone is going off.